Okay, let me just say a few things first.
Okay.
Today is October 17th, 2015. My name is Katherine Bynum. I'm a graduate student at Texas Christian University, working with the city of Fort Worth for the Latino Americans 500 Years of History. So today I'm here with Miss Josie Rivera and John Mendoza. Thank you so much for being here today. And you two are brother and sister?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Let me go ahead and start off by asking both of you when and where you were born.
I was born in Fort Worth, Texas. Do you want to know the year?
I would.
1957.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Mendoza?
I was born in 1964
Mm-hmm.
and here in Fort Worth.
Here in Fort Worth. Can you tell me about the neighborhood that you grew up in? You know, kind of what it looked like, what schools you went to, what churches you went to, sort of that.
It was a small neighborhood, mainly Hispanics, I would say. I went to Brooklyn Heights, Stripling, Arlington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to San Mateo Church.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny?
I went to the same school she did. We lived close to, well, in between the elementary and the high school. Grew up around all our friends, and I boxed in the Golden Gloves. My dad had a horse that we fed out there in Como, and
In Como?
he had a horse in Como.
Mm-hmm.
And we drive every day to feed it and water it, and he ride it. And I mean, that's, you know, and then he was my boxing trainer too, so that's.
So you were big into boxing?
Hmm?
You were big into boxing? You and
Yes,
your dad?
yeah, my dad was. He was a fighter a long time ago. He fought in the gloves here in Fort Worth
Mm-hmm.
back in the 40s. And then all my brothers, because we have 9 other brothers and sisters. There was 11 of us total. I was second to the youngest. I got a younger brother. Well, we have a younger brother, and because the same mother and father,
Mm-hmm.
same. I mean, when she's a little older than me, so we grew up in different neighborhoods. I mostly was in the west side.
Okay.
Because I mean, that's where Heights is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Hewlin
Right,
area.
right, yeah.
And she kind of started out in the south side, maybe. Then we moved. And the other time we moved, we actually stayed in the same neighborhood. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it.
Do you know about how your parents met or where they came from? Or?
She might.
My father was born in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother was born here in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they met in the TP area because her mother and father lived in TP.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they met. She was 13 when
Okay.
they got married.
When they got married?
Yes, and he was like 17.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
It was a shotgun wedding.
yeah.
No, it wasn't need. It was no need to, but that's how it became.
That's
Like,
funny.
oh, there. Yeah.
Right.
So,
And then
they basically always.
you said that your father was born in Oklahoma and moved to Fort Worth?
My grandparents met in Oklahoma. They were working like the fields,
Mm-hmm.
and they had my father. They got together there and had my father in Oklahoma. And I think they took him to live in Mexico, in Guanajuato, for a while, because I remember my dad telling us that he got lost. He says, y'all might have never been born because I got lost in Mexico and they might have never found me. And they did, and then they ended up moving back
Mm-hmm.
to Fort Worth, and that's where they...
To work for the railroad, or do you know?
My grandfather did work for the railroad. Actually, both my grandfathers worked for the railroad. That's where they brought their family up here in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm. So you guys predominantly lived in Arlington Heights, or do you remember living in a different neighborhood than?
I lived in South Fort Worth and went to a school called B.H. Carroll for a while, off of close to TCU actually, and then we moved to the west side. So it was basically in TP area because I think the borderline of Arlington Heights and TP was a Clover Lane, where Clover Lane started. Then it was Arlington Heights area.
Okay.
We lived over on the other side of the tracks, as we say. But
But you said that your dad had a horse that he kept in Como, which is predominantly black neighborhood. Do you know why the horse was in Como?
He found, I think he knew somebody who, from his job, who had a horse, and he always wanted one. And he found the stables right there off of Vickery, which isn't far from us. I mean, our house was not too far from Vickery. You jump on Vickery and it take you right to Como. And he told him about this. Somebody had some land there that they had stalls, and he could keep his horse there if he thought about buying one. And he bought one, and yeah, I mean, he got along with him, with everyone there fine, no problems.
So what did your mother do for a living?
well, she was a housewife raising babies at first.
There's
But
11
then
of us.
she went to work at Osteopathic Hospital as a maid,
Okay.
and she made her way up to nurse's aide. They didn't require schooling or anything. My mom actually just went to 5th grade, and but knew how to read and write English and Spanish. And she was a nurse's aide there at Osteopathic Hospital. She'd walk to work. She literally had to walk. And later on in the years, she worked as a tech for in endoscopy at Harris Hospital. That's where she retired.
When did she start working? After how many children?
After I don't think Anthony was born yet,
No,
was he? When
no,
she
she
first
was
started?
working.
During the last child, I think.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think
So
she was already,
Yeah.
because she never worked before that.
she's busy staying at home,
Mhm. Raising all
10.
of
Yeah,
that.
she raised me when I was little.
We had
And my mom was working. Her and my other sister were at home watching me and my little brother and sister.
Mhm.
What about the older boys? Did they have to do any kind of babysitting?
No, my older brother joined the Vietnam War when he was 18. And so he was there a couple of years.
Yeah.
Got the Purple Heart.
Mm.
Came back in all in one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really remember. Did Raymond ever babysit? Yeah, I don't
No.
think so. They were too busy with girlfriends and
No.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dad was pretty strict. Well,
Yeah.
We didn't get out very much.
No. We knew. Don't leave the yard. We didn't leave the
He was
yard.
in check. Mhm.
So what high school did you guys graduate from?
Arlington Heights.
Arlington Heights. And what years?
75.
82.
Okay. And what did you guys decide to do after you graduated?
Well, I actually got married right after high school.
Okay.
A month after.
A month after.
A month after high
Okay.
school.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
Nothing. I went to TCJC, which is
Okay.
a call back then. I didn't go to university or anything. I just worked in different places. Pier 1 for a long time. And now she and I are both at Bell Helicopter.
Okay. And what do you guys do for Bell?
Bonders. We
Okay.
actually work on the parts. On
Yeah,
the
we build
helicopter.
blade
Parts of it.
parts.
Mhm.
Wow. How long has that been?
I've been there almost 26 years.
Okay.
11.
11 years. And what made you decide to go into that industry?
My sister actually worked at the Snow Corporation in TP,
Mm-hmm.
and she found out they were hiring at Bell. So she had the experience, and she went there,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me you need to go take the bonding class and come to work here. That's basically how I got there.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys part of a union?
Yes, we are.
Which union?
UAW 218.
That's the local number?
Yeah,
218?
local 218.
And what do you think about the union?
Well, I'm very hardcore union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Can you tell me
appreciative of
why?
the union.
Because they take care of you. They're like, I mean, you need a lawyer, you get your representative. They you get, better pay, better, insurance. They take care of you.
Yeah.
We work under contracts that they have for us, and they look after us. So.
People, you're out striking and stuff, and they think that, like, you get enough money, quit being greedy, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't realize we're the one building the part. The CEO is making 20 times more than we are. You have no idea what we're,
Right.
we're making them money as well. So no.
So you've protested? You've gone on strikes before?
Yes.
Can you tell me an example of why you decided to go on a strike?
Because the contract they were offering us was,
Yeah, they didn't want to accept the
it was
contract.
crap. It was like, you guys
Yeah.
are better than this,
Yeah,
They start wanting to take more benefits away from
Okay.
you, and for you to pay more.
pay more,
Pay
get
more in your
less.
dues?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the
Insurance,
Oh, okay.
insurance,
On your
pay
insurance.
more.
On the
Yeah.
insurance, yes.
And so you guys decided to strike. How
Well,
long did that strike?
the union leaders decided to strike.
Mm-hmm.
We had to
for
vote.
6
They
weeks.
tell us, look, they tell us, we don't like this contract, and we don't think you should buy this contract, which means sign off on it. And then we say, okay. Then they take a vote. We say we reject the contract. Then they say, do y'all want to strike? And we have to vote on that. And then we voted to strike, and we struck. And it was
About 6 weeks is left.
24 hours. 24
6
hours.
weeks?
Mhm.
But you know what? If you don't stand your ground and stand for something,
Right.
because we actually, this last time, we stopped working overtime because that they need us. And a lot of people, they're like, well, we can't, we got to work overtime. And it's like, you know what? If you're not my union brother and stand by me, that's not good. I mean, it angers us because I didn't work, overtime. We struck for 6 weeks and then we went back, but we're like, we're not going to work. They let us go back, but we didn't work overtime. And the people that did work overtime, well, it's like, well, I'm glad you got your overtime money. I didn't, but now you reap the benefits of what I stood up for.
Right. Right.
So I'm proud that I stood up for what
Right.
I
Do
believe.
you remember what year this was that you went on strike for 6 weeks?
This was probably, how long is this contract? This contract's good for 18 till
This
2018,
one's for-
right? And it's
yeah,
for 5
5
years. So it was
years.
what, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
13?
This is recent.
It was 13.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
pretty recent.
Do you remember like any kind of media backlash or any like city backlash on the strike that was going on?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The press or the, Star Telegram put in there. Because, the company wants to say we made them a good offer and, they want to make us look bad.
Yeah, they
None of it
leak.
was true. Of course, we get backlash, but
Yeah, just from passerbyers we got backlash.
I was about to ask when you guys were out. Did you have signs?
Yes,
Did you
we
know,
had
picket?
signs.
What did your signs say?
people honked, throw.
And
Oh,
just
goodness.
showing support for the UAW and it says, of course, strike on the thing. And people go by honking and they'd be shaking their fingers at you, like, or one would be like, shame on you, and I'm like, you don't understand.
It can get, people cross the line that, and you're walking in front of the driveway. So they're like trying to get in and we're like, we're gonna let them in, but we're gonna give them a hard time. too.
Yeah.
Right. Ever gotten arrested for picketing?
No.
Striking? No. Do you know anyone that's gotten arrested for doing that?
No, it's not against the law.
Yeah. Well.
Somebody actually got hit this last time, a car, like, get out
Hit
of my
him?
way, and yeah, I kinda hit him.
Yeah.
No, not arrested.
But no,
Yeah.
I've never known anyone to get arrested for it.
It's not against the law, but I've definitely had interviews where people said that they were arrested for striking. Of course, it wasn't a lawful arrest,
Right.
So because it's
No, we
definitely
we're
within
by.
your legal rights to do so.
No, actually, the police has actually just stayed out of it.
Yeah, they
They
didn't.
just kind of
Unless it was something, nothing ever got really out of hand. So.
right. How many people do you think were in this strike that happened?
They employ quite a few. I mean,
Really,
like 2,400 people? Because there's plants in Grand Prairie, Arlington,
Right.
And they're all,
strikes in each.
even though they're different plants, we're all together, we're all union.
Yeah.
So we were striking in Grand Prairie, we were striking in Arlington, striking in Fort Worth and Hearst.
Wow.
So it was, like I said, it was 24/7.
Would you go to those different sites, or would you just stay at the
Depend-
one in Fort Worth?
Well, you get, they would
Pick
tell
where
you,
want to strike.
Okay.
yeah, and what times too. You
Yeah,
could,
there's different times because it's 24/7.
Have either of you tried to run for any kind of, management position within the union, or?
No. I went to union school one time with my sister over in Black Lake, but just to learn more about it. And I thought about running for like secretary or something like that, but then I just didn't.
Yeah. Do you know people at Bell Helicopter that aren't in the union?
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that?
We're not happy about it.
yeah,
But I try to be cordial.
yeah.
Or sometimes don't say anything.
They're scabs, and you don't want, because they
Yeah,
still get the
we-
same benefits we
yeah.
do. But I mean, we were the ones striking while they were going to work every day, and that's not. We were only making like what was it, 125 a week or something. They would pay us. The union would pay us like 100 and something, and meanwhile they're getting their full checks. So.
They do tell us ahead of time, look, the contract's coming up, we could be on strike.
Save
your
up,
money.
save your money.
Don't be spending,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, that was good.
Don't be buying a car right now.
Yeah.
Or buying a house because you may go on strike and you're gonna need that money.
That's
Do you
right.
feel like that anxiety comes up every single time your contract's about to expire?
Exactly, it sure does. It
Yeah.
really does. I
I
mean,
kind of just like I'm prepared and
You've
I'm ready.
you've been doing this for
Yeah.
how many years? 26 years.
26
you said?
years, yeah. I still got a 9-year at home, so I gotta make sure that I'm steady working.
Well, let me go and ask about your families. You said you got married right out of high school. Children? Do you have any children?
I have 2 daughters.
And what do they do?
My oldest is, she did take horticulture in college, but she worked for 6 years doing that. But then her husband said she could quit, and he's a Fort Worth police officer, and they have a daughter. My oldest, my youngest, she works for the, forgot the name of the company, but she used to work for XTO, where his wife works, but it's the same kind of dealing with oil.
Gas.
That's what she does downtown.
Okay. And then what about you?
I have 2 daughters as well. One's taking her basics at TCC now. She wants to transfer to North Texas.
Okay.
And I have a 9-year-old. She's playing soccer right now.
And are you married?
Yes.
And what does your wife do?
She worked for XTO. She's an admin for XTO.
I forgot to ask you, what does your husband do?
I'm not married.
Oh, not married? Okay. Well, is there anything else that you guys really wanted to talk about before we kind of wrap up?
Well, I don't know, just about the neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to talk about?
my.
Yeah, you want to talk about the TP neighborhood? I mean.
Well, it was a fun place to. When I moved from Southside over to to TP and went to Brooklyn Heights, they all were going to catechism, and that's how I started going to catechism there to make my holy first. No, I already had made my holy first communion, the confirmation, and so I made friends with them and going there and went to San Mateo Church, and it was just kind of a the neighborhood itself was small, so you knew everybody up and down the street, and they had harmonicas at the church, which are carnivals. And everybody'd get together and, have a good time there, having dancing, selling hamburgers or doing whatever. And,
right.
Everybody was just kind of close-knit,
Was it predominantly Hispanic?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And my grandfather worked for the railroad. Both of them did. My father's father didn't live in TP. It was my mother's stepfather that did, with the only grandfather that I knew. Hers passed away when she was a baby, her real father. And That's about it.
That is it. That is it.
Well,
Yes, yeah.
thank you so much for coming in today. I really do
Okay,
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
I'm a big fan of Union history, so thank you
All
for
right.
amusing me for a little while.
Yeah.